Hey all. Hiya, how you doing? How is everyone? I'm just checking, making sure that you can hear me and everything. Hello, BrizTech. TFM Repairs, Pico. I know Rusty Ross has gone on his school run. How are you all? And we've got a cable hanging right down in front of, where's that coming from? There. We don't want that in the way, do we? Oh, it's still in the way. How annoying. I'll balance it up there. All still a bit of a mess up on my gantry for the cameras and everything. And I'm hoping for a better camera coming soon. Hence, we've got bits like up here and kind of overhanging over there. But yeah, we're doing all right. So you can hear me okay? Someone give me a 1 or a thumb or a yes or something. And then we'll make some kind of start on it. That zoomed in way too much. Let's go out a bit so you can actually see what we're doing. And we might need to move that around again because for some inexplicable reason. Joe Fix, how you doing? Yep, the headache's a bit better now. I'm still mucking about with the camera here, so if we get freezes or whatever, please excuse me. And just trying to make sure that you can all see what's going on. And it's a bit mad at the moment. Will that fit in there? If that fits in there, then... Oh, hello, we're wobbling around. No, not really. We need to come out a bit more on the gantry. Wait for the camera to freeze up. Okay. Yes. Hello, Chill. How you doing? Hope everyone's okay and the day's going okay. What is going on there? Why? What is in front of? That is weird. Oh well, never mind. Just have to have my head chopped off. Okay, so today I finally found the 3DS XL that I thought I bought a new top screen for, but couldn't find, and it just turned out that it was in completely a different location to where I expected it to be. Calm down, Chaz. So we are going to attempt to fit this top screen onto this 3DS XL, and hopefully it'll work. We will see, I guess. It's been so long since I looked at it that yeah, because I can't remember where half of my bits are. I've ordered all new bits. I've got components everywhere, and you just kind of tend to forget about them. So can we see that all right? Is that okay for everyone? Hopefully it doesn't look too awful. Let's see if we can fine tune. There's no good looking at that. I need to I keep looking at the YouTube stream instead of what I'm actually doing, so you get the delay which throws you off. Hang on, just switching over to my... Again, the camera is rubbish, so I apologise for that. Hopefully that'll be sorted soon. Okay, let's come out of that. And right, okay, so here we have the top, which has already been removed from the casing. As I say, it's been sat around for ages. But in the last stream I did, we all saw how the how you take the top part off of the bottom part, how you yeah, I hope so, TFN, how you rebuild the bottom part. But what we didn't do was touch the top part. So we're going to have a go at that this time, just so you can see and judge for yourselves a bit. So I will press on and stop talking. I'm just going to take this case off, which means to press it forwards. I know this much we did because I did have to feed it through, but I didn't put the screen and the ribbons through. So you're just going to lever that forwards like that, then slide it off, and that gives you the top. And at that point, you will need to have, looking at the wrong screen, Chaz, you're going to have your 2 camera lenses up here, 1, 2, and then before you put it back together, you need to make sure that you've got your flashlight rubber and light pipe being up here, which we don't have at the moment, but we will do before we put it back together, obviously. So we can put that aside for now, somewhere, because I've got stuff absolutely everywhere. And then we've got a new screen, hopefully, which has not been out yet, inside here. No, JFix is not an IPS screen, not as far as I'm aware. It's just a TFN screen, because as I said before, I'm really not that fussed about the difference in quality, because if you're looking at your 3DS from the side, how are you playing it anyway? So front on, I haven't had a problem with them. And you know, you might have a slight increase in resolution, but it's nothing that I'm that worried about, and nothing that the people that buy them seem to be that worried about either in reality. Right, let's get some double-sided tape. Don't get me wrong, if one came along with an IPS screen on it, I wouldn't be unhappy, and I may have handled ones with IPS screens on it, but seeing as I don't Luma them all, you wouldn't know anyway without looking at them from the side, and I just don't spend that much time looking at it. So yes, okay, so we have the top screen, and I'm not going to look at the screen. Just don't look at the screen, Chaz. Make sure it's in shot and don't look at the screen. And then we're going to have your sound, and well, same as the last one. You've got your flashlight is here. There's a little bit on the end here, which will be folding back to fit in. Your main data connector ribbon here. Hello, Victor. Thank you. And then these 2 connectors here, which are for the backlight, and do you know what, I don't know what the other one is off the top of my head, but it's connected. Oh, it's the 3D bit, I think. And then we'll be connecting those once we've put the screen in. So that, as I say, that is your flashlight, your 3D slider, parallax thing, and the backlight, and your sound, obviously, which we don't have connected at the moment. One will connect to here, and the other one will connect to here. And there's quite a delay between me broadcasting and looking at it. Right, okay, and then obviously you've got your camera ribbon cable, which has to feed through as well. So you have a total of 3 cables going through the hinge, which is the bit that makes everyone panic, and used to make me panic. And providing I don't get too shaky with the hands now, should be okay today. So we'll just dig through my bits over here. The bottom has already got the bottom screen in it, as you can see, because I've built this up beforehand. I've modified it because this needed a new hinge plate to start with, and it was then that I found out that the top screen was out of action, and all the bits, so the light pipes, the microphone felt light pipes this side, and the hinge piece have all been put in ready. The thumbstick has been put in, the volume slider has been put in, the retaining bracket for the volume slider, and also this little piece of foam down here which protects the ribbon cables when it's going up and down. And then obviously you've got the at the bottom of it, looking in the wrong screen, you've got your data connector, your backlight connector, and your digitizer cable at the other end. But as I say, we'll put that to one side a minute, screw it in here. And then obviously the motherboard has got to go back in it. And I'll just take everyone through that again. So over here we have the microphone cable, which I've left in, which will fit into a little rubber sleeve that then fits into the part in the hinge cable, in the hinge panel. And then over here we have the data cable connector and the backlight cable connector. At the top we have the camera connector on top, and the parallax slider speaker backlight connector is here. And then on the underneath of the board you have the connector for the top screen data cable. Any other things to think about? Make sure when you do these you always check, because these discharge ports get flowed badly in the factory and they tend to come off. It's one of the main problems. If you look on eBay you'll see it doesn't charge. Well, normally it's because it's just become disconnected from these ports here where the flow process has been so bad. So here we have the digitizer connector, and then the IRDA, the infrared little PCB board goes on there. Here is one of the shoulder buttons, and then we'll take you over to the other side, and this is the other shoulder button here. Obviously your SD reader, game card reader, battery terminals, and if I bring, so I'll go through it again, we'll come over to scope, like so. Like so, he says, hopefully. Come on, over. Crossing my hands over here. That may be too bright. Let's take the brightness down a bit. Okay. So using the scope, we're going to now show you the fuses. So this is your normal choke. To get rid of some of the noise coming through, and then zoom in a bit more. Where's my program? Well, I've got so many programs open at the moment. Zoom into 100% so that you can see it properly, and then I need to see it properly, so I'm just going to have to go over to the projector screen a minute. Okay, now that needs to come up a bit, and we need to focus. Okay, so this is the charge port, and then I don't know if you can see it properly or not. Okay, and then this fuse down here for the charge, and then on the battery side of things you can see where the fuse is here with a great big K on it. That's your main battery fuse. Is there anything else I need to think about also while I'm doing that? I don't think so at this present moment in time. I have shown in other pictures. No, actually I haven't. I've done some pictures and stuff for videos, but not actually done. But if you have problems with these buttons operating, what you need to do is quite often they get damp underneath them, and what I do is I peel the sticky tape off completely, clean the contacts up because they get tarnishing between the board and the contacts. Sometimes you just have to throw them away and put other contacts on where it's just got so bad, but normally the board side of things is okay. So I clean them up, put them back down, and then I make sure the area is clean and stick them back down with caps on tape. I've not had any come back for that. They've all been fine. So that's just another thing to be careful of. And then we will go back out to the overhead view. I will move the microscope out of the way, like so. Shut this screen down because it's in the way of seeing what you're chatting about, because for some reason it's not come up in Studio. Hello, Sloth Tech. Hello, Microsoft Blind. How you doing? Careful, wild animal behind you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's because she's jealous. I'm talking, and it's coming up for her FEED time. So she's there to kind of just gently remind me that she's around and that it's that time. Right, I've got a bag of bits here. Let's put that to one side over here. Excellent sandwich. No, they're not trained for that. That won't set them off. Okay, let me see if it's too blurry or you can't see. I'll endeavour to do something about it. So here we have the hinge panel, the hinge piece, speakers, various screws, the sleeve for the microphone. That makes a change. Missed the raid. I missed the raid. There was a raid. Switch into the live chat. Oh, right. RVNR, thank you very much. Thank you for the raid. Very kind of you. I had it on top chat, so I kind of missed it. And I'm just dropping bits around. We'll just pick those up. That's what happens when you open a bag up. Don't look at what you're doing. Yes, I saw. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Very kind of you. So we don't need those. We'll just pick out the bits I really want. Let's not lose those. Put those back in there. Just bear with me a minute, guys. Well, I say guys, peeps, people, everyone, guys and gals, and anything else in between. So we're going to want the hinge piece collar. We're going to want that other bag I've just put down. Is there anything else in here I need for now? I don't think so. Oh, yeah, there are. The frame pieces for the speakers, the Wi-Fi aerial. So one Wi-Fi aerial, one collar, which you couldn't see from where it was a minute ago, and then two of these frames that go underneath the speakers when you're putting it back together again. And I'm going to need a pair of tweezers to dig them out. Hello E.T., how you doing? So I've got these frames, and then also, providing I haven't lost anything, these pieces of very fine mesh here, which get lost really, really easily. I've actually chopped a sock apart in the past to make a bit up for them. It was a sock with a hole in it, I should have already had. And then we're going to need the 3D slider piece. So this, and I think, oh, and the rubber piece I was talking about earlier for the light. We'll put that up here, out of the way, so I can knock it across the desk and lose it, because why not? And the hinge piece. So yes, there we are. Right, so first of all I'm going to start by picking these screws up that have just dropped out of the bag and putting them back in the bag and boring the hell out of you. Hello Clawslug, how you doing? Nice to see you. This could take hours at this rate, couldn't it? Never mind. Putting the screws back in the bag, like so. Right, screws back in the bag. So we're going to start off by putting the double-sided tape around the outside of this, just so that it's ready when I want to do it, rather than fighting with everything else. And so I'm making sure that we clean the areas the tape's got to stick to, obviously. Yeah, that's fine. I'm making sure obviously that we don't get anything like IPA down in there, because that wrecks the screen. We've still got the protective cover on there at the moment, which I will leave on there for now. Alright, let's see if we can make this look really difficult, shall we? So the thick stuff, by the way, this is what I use. You can get it in various thicknesses, but this roll has lasted me ages, and well, 2 rolls, because obviously I've got the different thicknesses. Yes, so we're going to put the thick of I'm going to go back to bed. The thicker of the two at the bottom and at the side, and then we'll use the thinner one for the top and the other side. And it's just doing this now because it's such a faff if you have to do it once all the ribbon cables and everything are through. It makes it a little bit more awkward, as you can imagine. That one done. And then turn it round and do the top. You couldn't see that because I've got all of the bits right in the way, but we can do that bit now. Eek. No, we're not. So 1, 2, oh, there you go, shaky hands already. For those of you who have watched a few of my streams, you'll know that as soon as I get a little bit nervous, my hands start shaking, which is ridiculous. Look, there you go. And I'm only talking to myself just a little bit at the moment, which is good, because otherwise I wouldn't say anything and you get really bored, more than you are now. Come on, cut. Thank you. That one. Turn it around again. Then we're going to put the thinner stuff on. Now what I'd normally do is sling it all together first on the board and check that it works, but for the sake of this stream we're just going to pretend that it's all going to go swimmingly, because why not? Oh, thanks, Rossi. Excellent. Hello, Josie32. Nice to see you. Farm Tech, how you doing? Nice to see you in here. Still no sign of the clunge farmer. I wonder what's going on there. Okay, so we have that taped up ready. So now I'm going to move all this stuff that I put in the way out of the way for now, just so that you could see what we had to fit, and also possibly remind me if I forget something, because I don't do that, do I? No, I never forget anything. Waits for sarcastic reply from wife. Okay, and this, but actually we can put this in. So your hinge piece, put that on there as well, goes in and just presses in. And I might put it in the wrong way. We'll find out when I start swearing and saying this isn't closing properly, and then I'll have to take it out again. And the collar, hopefully it's a tightish fit, we'll put there. And the first thing we're going to try and put on is part of the Wi-Fi aerial. Yes, JFix, exactly. I haven't either. And to start with, I thought it was because he's gone off to see his family, but he's not been on for a long time now. I hope everything's okay with him. Hopefully it wasn't got by the sheep or anything. That comes down here like so. 8-bit, hey, yeah, how you doing? Down here underneath the slot, I'll move that to the middle a bit more for you. Again, if it's really bad quality picture and you can't see it, let me know, because we can always zoom in on the microphone. Why would we do that? Could always zoom in using the microscope, and and just so you can see what's going on. So all I'm doing at the moment, just roughly, is I've put the Wi-Fi antennae up here, and then there is a slot so you can feed the wire in down on the sides, around, and then down in front of the hinge barrel. And then is where the fun starts. So thank you. I'm going to use, for demonstration purposes, and I'm going to do it separately so that you can see that it can be done. He says hopefully. And I'll put the cable inside of, wound it around the hair clip, and then I use the hair clip. Can you see that? I think so. And then use the hair clip just to pull it through, rolled up like so. And then next we're going to do the camera. Crikey, we've got enough stickers down here. And the camera goes through and comes up behind the data cable for the screen. So again, what we're going to do is we're going to get the camera cable, and we're just going to roll it up very slightly, and then push down behind the data cable. And again, if it all goes horrendously wrong, then I'm sorry. But yeah, I'm just trying to show you that it is possible without making a pig's ear of things. And I did make a pig's ear of things, so you know, that's good. Take it through here. Remind yourself to keep the tension on the cable this time, and then ever so carefully just pull it through. Like so. That's in front of, and that's not where we want it. It is going to come up behind here, and I might have to take it out again to redo that, but that's fine, it's not a problem. No stress. Straight back through like so. So incidentally, that also shows you how you can take them out when you have to repair them. Feed it back on the hair clip again, bobby pin, whatever you're going to call it. And this time we need to come down behind. No, not both sides. No, not there. It's going to do the same thing, you watch. No, because I've let it go again. I have let it go. Okay, I'm going to come up like this time. feed it up from there. Please bear in mind I don't do this every day anymore, so we do have skill slippage. It's probably going out of focus because I'm lifting the top up, which is another reason I'm not keeping this camera. Right, okay. Now hopefully, providing I don't muck up, and I do muck up, which is good, you know. We all like to see failure. Okay, slower without the hand shake would be nice. Coming several times around the ribbon cable, and then the Ragged Rascal one. And then we're going to come down through and behind. Bueller. God, my voice is so boring sometimes. I'm actually making this look difficult, believe it or not, peoples. No, that's not it. So let's start that again. Why am I making such a pig's ear of this? And what am I not remembering? Well, used to be. At the moment, it's not looking like it, is it? I've just pulled that cable out again. So, yay me! Right. Camera cable. Like so, over like this. We're going to wrap it back round the bobby pin. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, okay. Talking to myself now. Shaky hands. Shaky hands are not helping. And this is why I stopped working on the switchboards and ordered them, because my hands were so shaky at that time, and I was by myself then. But when I was taking components off, thank you, now up behind, like so. Okay, there we go. So the camera cable now goes behind the data cable for the screen, and then finally we want to do the sound 3DS backlight cable, and this is going to end up getting wrecked at this point. This piece here you're going to fold over. We're not going to bother putting it in place yet, so that the cable goes underneath the board and out, and then that puts your ribbon cable here in the right place. Hopefully you can see that. So what we are going to, and this then comes up behind all of these, so we need to feed it down in front of. And what I'm going to do for this, and let's put the scope for this bit just so you can see what I'm doing. He says hopefully. So, good Lord, that's dark. Come all the way down here. No, that really is. You can just see the black bit, that's why. So this is flat at the moment. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to get it between my fingers, and I'm going to squeeze it over so that it's got a curve that matches the barrel that it's going through. Can you see that? You probably can't. Let's try that. Yeah. So it's got a curve on it, and rather than trying to pull the thing through fold up, it's more difficult that way. And then when I find my other tweezers, it's not those. Excuse me, I'm just going to have to stand up a minute. No, not those. I need to tidy up in here again. Okay, found them. Try not to throw everything else everywhere while I'm doing it. Don't want those ones because they're rubbish. Okay, and then I'm going to use my 90-degree tweezers. Puppy cam, was it? And we'll go back to the overhead. Move the microscope out of the way again. And we're going to get this, as I say, coming through here. And with my 90-degree tweezers, I can just about get them through. And on a good day, you've just got enough play in the tweezers to keep them open, so that you can then shut it ever so carefully, he says, put it through like so, and then it's going to come up behind the rest of them. Hopefully you can see that. So then we're going to get your screen and fold back out of the way, because I accidentally pulled the Wi-Fi aerial off it earlier. We're going to put that back in place again. And I've just stabbed myself with the tweezers. Ouch. Sharp pointed tweezers, good for putting things in places, but you can flipping well guarantee that when you go to pick them up or you lay them down somewhere, they will be pointing towards you, just waiting for their chance to stab you. Pretty much like the multimeter probes. If I don't remember to put the ends on those, you can guarantee when you go to pick the meter up, it'll get you. And then we're going to feed the Wi-Fi aerial through the middle of all of these cables. Take it out the other side, and then we can put this wire in place properly. Like so. He says hopefully. I said like so. And then we're going to take the sticky tape cover off. Hey, Fortifix, hello, how you doing? Nice to see you. I'm just taking the backing off of the tape at the moment. You're not missing anything out of shot. Not unless seeing backing taken off a sticky tape. Sticky tape? What is sticky tape? Sticky tape does something for you. I'm suspecting not. And at this point, I am going to take the protective cover off because it's going to get in the way and annoy me. Right. So now we've taken that off. We're going to attempt to lay the screen in place. You can't get this wrong because it's got these locating pieces up here, the tabs, and also down the side to make sure that it goes in the right place. Hey, yes, thank you, Fortifix. Nice of you to be here. Thank you very much. At which point we can then put the camera flex in place and make sure that it is through enough so that it comes down here straight. And also we're going to bring that up, but we're not going to do that yet. We need to get some Captain tape. Because I stick everything down in place as we're going. That way if I forget everything, it's really awkward to take it all off again. Save my pills. Okay, I'm with you now. Right. Pair of scissors. You can guarantee when I cut this stuff. Sorry. It's going to fold itself round and just stick underneath the desk. Thank you. Wonderful, my wife just made me a cup of tea. So cut a piece of tape off and just going to stick it in place. One. Sorry, JFix. I promise next time I'll let you see the peel as you're having a peel in the peel. Down here. And then we're going to come over here. Can we still see that in shot? Yes, it is. And fold this under itself, underneath these ones. And again, my hands are shaking, so I do apologise. Not that I think they've actually stopped shaking. Now, you might find that putting some sticky tape underneath this board to keep it in place helps, just to stop it from jumping out everywhere, because that can get a bit annoying sometimes, especially when you're putting them in. And then release the latch. Release the latch. And put the ribbon cables into the connectors, providing you can. This is the easiest way. Well, I find it that this is the easiest way, rather than trying to do it when the board is out, because you could just slide it onto the screen, but then it makes things awkward for feeding the ribbon cables through. And then we're going to do the next one. At least that's the theory. I'll just say that again. And then we're going to do the next one. I think the latch might be down. Yep. And then try feeding it in. And again, using... No, actually, I don't think I'm going to use the other ones. We're going to use the pointy tweezers. The trouble is, they don't have much tension on the end. Right. Come on, you can do it. Get in there. Pretty sure that's not all the way in now. Does it come out? Okay, maybe it was in. They don't go all the way in. So let me show you that. Swapping over again. Now, normally with most of the ribbon cable connectors, you tend to make sure that they're in right up to the end of the trace. But on these, they don't do that. No, I still don't think that was. Oh, it is actually in properly. If you look at them, they're both the same. So you don't have to push them all the way in. So that just as long as the shoulder bits here come up to the end of the connectors. And swapping. Microscope out of the way. And then we'll continue on with our taping down. I can't tape this side all the way over yet because I need to solder the speaker on, because on this side obviously it's the pads are on this side, and on this one the pads are on this side, so you can do this one in place, but we are going to tape it down so that everything comes through neatly. Obviously I try very hard to make sure that I do not touch the tape on the sticky side, because Captain Tape is great, but it picks up finger grease really easily and then becomes next to useless. I'm going to put one there for now. Turn the soldering iron on would be a good idea, wouldn't it? and getting the speakers. What we also need to do, and I always forget before we put the speakers in, is we need to put the little speaker frames in, like that one I just chucked across the screen, and they go in first. No, they don't. Don't be an idiot. We need to get the pieces of felt mesh. The mesh goes in first, and then the frame goes in. If you don't put these in, you get a lot of vibration on the speaker. So if you don't have any, and I haven't ever seen any of these or the frames for sale separately, it is worth taking the time just to make it up out of something very thin, cardboard or plastic, or, and like I said, in the mesh, as I said before, I used part of a sock because it makes a big difference to the sound. Yes, I have a hole in the bottom of that bag, that's why the screws are dropping out. So that could prove fun. So we'll just take these speakers out, drop screws all over the place again. Put the screws up here, I think, for now. If I can do that without knocking them everywhere. And then complain a lot later when I can't find the screws and can't work out why. One screw, one speaker, a spare barrel for some reason, and the other speaker. So obviously we want to tin our pads first of all. That really is so out of focus. Okay, let's go over to the microscope just because it's a better picture than anything that overhead camera is giving. Well, it would be if it was looking at what we were working on. So we've got the pads here. Let's get that in focus. Just going to tin up the pads. And the pads on the other side, which you can't see, but same process obviously. That's the dogs going through there. I've just been fed zoomies. And then put the speakers in place. Now if you look on the board, ready? Sorry about the barking, everyone. You can see quite clearly on the board it's marked for the positive and the negative. I don't really want to tell them off for barking because they have. Oh, that was awful. Tell you what, let's put some flux on it. Just a little bit. I should stop looking at the screen in front of me because that's got the delay on it, otherwise I'm going to fill it up with flux. Come on, out. Okay, teeny bit of flux. Soldering iron. Speaker. And they're now rushing up and down the stairs. Come on, Chaz. Shaky hands, you can see there. Which we don't need. Come on, stop shaking. You're not making things easy. Okay. Let's redo that one. I'm not happy with that. Better. Not perfect, but better. And then the other one is here, a little bit of flux. And this is going to go the other way around, because obviously when you fold the flex over, come on, over here, it's the other way around. Come on. Oh, really? Honestly, I despair of myself. Just talk amongst yourselves, it's fine. I can't see chat at the moment, by the way, just so you know. I'm actually looking at the microscope screen. Okay. Oh my gosh. Really? This is a little bit rubbish. I'm not even getting there. And that's me. It's not the job. It's the ridiculous shaky hands. Now I could have put it in a helping hands thingy, but that's too sensible. Okay, so that's the negative on. Finally. And then, if we're really lucky, no, we're not. That's totally missed, Mr. Mott. Look at what you're doing. Positive. It's not brilliant, not my finest hour, that's for sure, but it's on there. Oh, I've got a dog by my feet now. I'm just going to clean it off with some cotton buds, which you can't see, obviously. I'll do the same down here. Okay, right. Now we'll go back out to overhead and move the microscope back out of the way. And then I can see chat again. Yay! Right, okay. So we can put the speaker in place. And the other speaker, poke it down again. There are little slots to the side that the wire goes through. And same on this side. In fact, I think what we'll do now is we'll tape it first, stop it leaping up again. Piece of tape. Move that bit out of the way for now. Stick this down over here. Sorry if anyone else's dog's barking, but it seems only fair. And then we're going to locate these on the pegs just here and here, and make sure that the wires come inside. They're probably going to jump out again anyway, so I'm not going to pay too much attention to that. And then obviously you have a screw. Can I find a screw? It might even be the ones left in there. I think it is. How lucky is that? Phillips screwdriver. And that holds the board in place like so, just the one screw. Up there, that's the microphone thing. Put that there. Put the torn bag in the bin because it's no good. And put this screw up here, which has appeared out of nowhere. I think I'm going to be looking for screws afterwards. Right, so we have this here, this here, this here. Right, okay, next we're going to need to fold the flash cable up, and it's going to end up coming around on itself and pressing down here. Now sometimes it will locate without any problems and just stay there, and which is not going to happen on this one apparently. Sometimes you have to put double-sided sticky tape on it, just a teeny bit. So we're going to double-sided sticky tape it just a teeny bit. This will be where I swear as I chop it off and it goes missing. Can you imagine what it must be like to be in my head? Okay. Okay, Sloth, thank you, no problem. Press it into place. Take the backing off, like so. And then try again. So over here, and then press it down into the aperture. Like so. And then hopefully, he says, that'll stay. Now we then need to get your ribbon cable, and you actually need to fold it over. Like so. And I don't know how many of you remember from the Joey's stream, but this is also the bit that gets brittle. So when you're taking these apart, it tends to separate at the 90-degree bend here. So if I'm taking one apart, generally I'll try and put tape round it before I start tugging on the tape. I mean tugging on the ribbon. And sometimes that saves it, sometimes it's just too brittle. But generally when I'm taking these apart anyway, if it's not the screen, it's the whole of this ribbon cable anyway, and it's a dead dodo, so. Alright, I need to take that up again now because I've got too much play on that. Just take it down here a bit and re-stick it, that's it. That should all remain in place. We'll put one more bit of tape up there. Just to keep it in place like so. Okay, and then at this point we're going to start marrying things up. Now obviously we can't put the cover on there because of the hinge barrel, so we need to put it back on the hinge panel first, and then what I tend to do is I'll get I think I might have said this before actually, I'll get a piece of Captain tape, because, and I'll probably make this look like a pig's ear, if you get your Captain tape and just stick it, no, well actually if you miss it completely and stick it to your fingers instead, that's because I'm handling it now with my fingers rather than the tweezers. Now I'm going to say theoretically at this point, because we all know how everything can go wrong, theoretically it makes it easier to feed it back through the hinge piece, which we do have just here. So we need to turn this round. First of all, we're going to feed the Wi-Fi aerial wire down and pull that through as much as possible, and then we're going to feed a piece of Captain tape through initially, which obviously is not listening to me. Again, sorry if this is out of focus, people. And then that will take that one through with it. And then if you're really careful, the rest will follow. Free your mind. And then you're going to just put a little bit of pressure on the hinge piece here. fold it open more or less, like so, and again, I showed this in the other one. I will come in on the microscope again just so you can see what I'm going on about. And I've crossed my hands here. There you go, transitioning back to the microscope. So you can actually just move the microscope that way and put a bit of an angle on it. And you might get, oh, you've gone all floppy, excuse me, peoples. Well, we put a little bit of an angle on it. And where is it now? Oh, she's struggling. That's because I'm looking at the wrong screen again. I'm trying to get it in focus. You can just about see the barrel. Can you? Let's go over so I can see what I'm doing as well. You can just about see the barrel in there at the moment, which is out. So you're going to need to push it in. I don't want to use those because they're the best ones. Let's go back to this again. And you'll just need it at ever so slight of an angle for the hinge barrel to locate into the retaining slot in the hinge itself. Now, that's not properly in yet. It's entirely possible I might put it in the wrong way, because obviously you can go in one of two positions. But I don't think I have. Okie dokie. She's popping out again. So I'm just going to take that out again, just so that I can recheck. Obviously, so to take it out, you put something down inside here, and again, you're not going to see it on this because it's too dark. Coming around here, way too dark at the moment. See if I can improve that. To be honest, there is this slot anyway, just here, and you can just about see this white here. So it is in the right way. This white here is the barrel that's in the top cover, which slides into the slot in the retaining piece. So if you want to take it apart, then you put a little pair of tweezers or something down in here and lever it out. To lever it out, you have to have the top cover off first, because the top cover is the one that keeps it in place. And it's kind of going in and then coming back out at the moment. I don't know if that's the hinge piece I'm using. Let's go back to overview again, or if I'm just being too clumsy. But that's definitely not in place at the moment because you're not getting your clicks. Hello Sean, how you doing? Nice to see you. And Tom. Hello Tom. Now I'm going to fight for a little bit here. What I want to know is, why is it not staying in place? No, I have to take it out. Okay. should be all the way. No, not quite. I'm just going through the retaining piece and pushing the bit back out again. And then hopefully we can take it apart like this, as everything else drops apart on me. And I'll have a look at the barrel. Let's take that one out. Seeing as I have another one up here, I'll put that one in and see if that makes any difference. Although I suspect not, looking at the state of that. But yeah, I'll tell you what that was. This, because this one originally, I'm going to swap back over and show you exactly what I mean. This, when I got it, yikes, let's adjust to that. I'll take the exposure down again. And when I originally got this 3DS, what you can see there, the it was all super glued together. The hinge panel had snapped. Oh, there you go. You can see it better now. And they'd literally filled it full of super glue, but they'd filled it full of super glue so much that not only did they glue this to the panel, they glued the shoulder. Look at the state of that. They glued the shoulder button to the panel and the motherboard to the panel and the bottom part of the shell as well. So it was fun taking that apart. And that was, I did that with small careful applications of acetone. I'm going to throw that away off the screen. Of acetone and just general prodding. This looks fine. I wonder if it's because it was in the wrong way. I don't think it was in the wrong way. So it could be that the retaining piece is not right. Just bear with me here, peoples, because I'm out of shot, I think, at the moment. I'm going to look down in there, and that should be okay. It should be right. Just put that back in there. Swap over to overhead, because obviously you can't see anything now again. And move the microscope out of the way. Yes. If in doubt, get the exactly. And the thing is, with the glue, is not only do they do that, but they tend to also try to glue the latches together, which I'm sure you've come across as well. Not understanding that when you put super glue on a latch, it tends to act as an insulator as well, so that they've double whammied themselves. I think that should be it, actually. I think that's in place properly now. It says, yeah, sort of. No, now we're back out again. And again, generally this bit is not as troublesome. So yeah, there you go. So if I can keep that in, shut it down. That is now clicking as it shuts. Hello Pitco, how you doing? And then we will put the 3D slider on. Oh look, there's a frame down here. It's the only thing, when the speakers drop out as you're turning everything over. That's not that one then, it was the other side. Put that frame back in again. And it's out from this side, okay. Put the speaker frame back in again. Insulator piece, spacer, call it what you will. One of those. Get down like so. Put the speaker back in place. Make sure this is right. Put the 3D slider in. 3D slider has a little slot just here, which you probably can't see because of the focus on the camera. Just take my word for it. There's a slot, so it will go in place. And then if you look on the back of the slider, is like a U channel where obviously the top cover is going to go on it. Before we put the top cover on, we need to get the little rubber piece on it. Now, where did I put the top cover? Could be anywhere over here. Okay, so top cover, and then the little rubber piece, which goes on. No, not like that. It doesn't. Ugh. Which doesn't go on. It leaps off. It is really difficult. Try not to maintain. Sorry, not maintain. Trying to avoid having a monotone when you do this and just only drawing and on and on. Because I'd hate to be like that. Hopefully I'm not, but it does sound like it to myself. Yeah, there you go. In. So that's your little flashlight tube there. Hello, Squishy. How you doing? Nice to see you. Then hopefully we can put this over without it all falling apart. Pressing it down firmly at the sides, and then coming back into place, or not, as the case may be. Sides are in, this side's not in, and then come on, back, and then clicking it together at the back to make sure it's all locked in place. Now hopefully, keeping the screen in place, as you can now hear, it now snaps and doesn't slide out when it's back together again. We'll put some screws in here to keep the screen together. How was your day at work, Pitco? How many of these do we have? There's 2. And 1 down here for now. There's no point in putting them all in yet until we know that things work. And I'm going to have to search for them as well, because some of them have gone walkies. Okay, now we can shut this down, and that way around. Make sure that we put the buttons back in. Buttons, where did I put the buttons? Okay. Put it back in screen. Shake all these bits out. There's a few more screws in here as well. Okay. That. Put these out of the way. I'm just picking up the little bits and pieces that were in the bag and putting them to one side. Just for those thinking, nothing's happening. Another screw. We can put that on there for now. I'll keep that out of the way. Right, so you want your D-pad and the D-pad membrane. And then the buttons, and as I've said before, B does go at the bottom if you put it in correctly. And you can't put them in the wrong way, because there are slots in the button and matching pieces in here, so you can't get it wrong. Now, having said that, I have just put it in wrongly. There you go, top. So B at the bottom, and then Y goes next to the screen. No, it doesn't, because you let go of it at the wrong time. Y goes next to the screen. Oh, no, it doesn't. Not with that bit of dirt in there. Excuse me, I'm just scraping some cheese off. Ooh. We don't like cheese. Okay, IPA. No, I'm not buying any at the moment. I need to concentrate on getting rid of the ones that I have, and then buying the bits I need to put the other stuff together I have, basically squishy. I do look. I've been looking, and to be honest, if I saw a bargain, I probably would, but Mrs. just laughed.
She's laughing at the word, probably.
Probably. But yeah, and the market is a little bit silly at the moment. Oh my god, this is horrible. Hang on. It's just for posterity. Scoopy scope. Swap that over there, and then we need to bring the scope back on stream so you can see it. Where's it gone? We are. That's too bright. There you go. Isn't that nice? Don't you? Aren't you loving that? Yes, yeah, I can sell them for more, which I will be. I mean, I'll just start them at base price. What people pay for them is what people pay for them, over a standard baseline kind of price. So I tend to, the 3DS XLs, I tend to put up as a start of 110. The 2DS XLs sort of start at 130. The OG 3DSs go for around 65 to 70. Well, I say that we're going around for 65 to 75. After I worked on them, but I'm seeing non-working versions go for the same sort of money. It's just, I don't understand what's going on with the market at the moment. It's all a bit bonkers. Let's go back to the overhead. Queggle. How you doing? Vietnam flashbacks. A does not go above, it goes on the outside. And just going to clean some more cheese off of this one. So does that mean you don't like working on 3DSs then, Quiggle? And then X goes at the top because B doesn't. No, because A doesn't, you silly so-and-so. Come on. There you go. But then we're going to put the membrane on this and just make sure that, no, we need to scrub the membrane as well. It's a bit yucky. Quiggle said, I had to replace a 3D XL top screen this morning, and here we have Vietnam flashbacks. So membrane clean and back on again. The membrane for the power button is not too bad, but the power button, yes, the power button is a bit yucky. So I'm just going to scrape this hand cheese out, and then we'll give it a scrub. Give it, as someone says, a nice clean. Yeah, it's sliding everywhere. Right, it's clean enough to put back on. You can always give it a further polish when it's back together again. Okay, so where are we? Power button back in again. Bring it on screen, Chaz. Well done. And then the membrane back on, like so. Now we're going to bring the Wi-Fi aerial cable, and you can just about see it in that picture. awful as it is. Put this stuff up here because I tend to park too close to me and it gets everywhere. And then there is a slot that the cable fits in, which I'll just leave a little teeny bit of loop on the end of it, like so. Which is now jumping out of. Come on, get back in. And I'm going to end up putting a bit of tape over this, I think. What you doing, Chaz? Get my head out of the way because you can't see anything with my head over it, can you? Sit, stay. No, that's not it. You missed the tape entirely. Well done. So much for me not handling them. Oh, no, and I made a mess of that. Right, I'm just going to get another piece of Kapton tape. Search desperately for the end. It's the end. The haunch, yeah, absolutely. Other pair of tweezers. Yeah. Down a bit more, down a bit more. That's what she said. Stick it in place just to keep that in. And then feeding the cable right the way across here with some more tape, because otherwise everyone's just gone deaf.
She's only a little bit.
I know. Like so. I can't remember if this goes in front or behind. You know what? I'm going to take that underneath it just to make sure. Across there. I'm going to put another bit of tape at the other end. And again, you don't have to tape it. You could put a little bit of UV on there, or just leave it and put the board on there quickly before it all jumps out of place. But I'd rather do it that way. Right, I'm going to take the tape off of the ribbon cables I used to feed them through with. Okay, and then we're going to get the motherboard. Right, for this bit, I don't empty anything. I open them all the way up to give me a maximum amount of cable. So then we're going to flip it over and put the bottom screen in first. And as I said in the last stream, I used to put the camera cable, see, so the latch is not open, and the other cable on the other side in first, until I developed an annoying habit of completely forgetting to put the top screen cable in, putting it all back together again and wondering why it didn't work. Just bear with me here again. Shaky hands are not making things easy. Making sure obviously that it's all the way in. Flipping the latch over. Making sure we haven't got anything okay now, so we should just be able to bring this over now and carefully putting it in place. Bring the Wi-Fi aerial connector up through here, and put your volume slider in place. Oh, there it is. That's the dog talking to another dog outside now. So it might be with the quality of this camera that I'm going to have to end up redoing it on a better camera. Right, okay, that's engaged with that. Make sure that, as I haven't, make sure that on this side, as I said before, that the tab on the Wi-Fi slider is behind the switch, otherwise it won't flick back. As you can hear, it is flicking back. It is on the right side. And making sure that you have brought the digitizer cable up, which I haven't, or the back screen. Sigh. There you go, digitizer cable, like so, and then the bottom screen cable and the backlight. That's better. Back in place again. Hello, chill again, Mr. Bronson. How are you? So then we're going to connect up the camera cable, which is at the top here. Let's bring that down a little bit. I'm not going to use that one because it's too pinchy and you can damage the cables easily. And then we're going to make sure the latch is open. And then put the camera ribbon cable in. And then I'll just use the tip of the tweezer to make sure that it's in gently, really gently, because it's so easy to damage and flip the latch over. And then here, I don't know if you can see on the screen or not, there's a white line. That white line is where you bend the cable over so that when it comes out and over to the connector here, and I might need to just ever so gently bend that back from where I did it before to make it easier to get through the hinge. Okay, so without the hand shaking so much will be nice. So that's in there. Flip the latch over, and then you've got your digitizer cable, which we're just going to fight with here as the latch closes down again handily. Okay, then flip the latch down. That's the digitizer in, and then the data cable for the bottom screen. And again, as I've said before, the console will boot up without the camera connected, without the data cable connected, but the backlights have to work. So you have to have the backlights fitted and working. What's going on here? Aha, the latch wasn't open. That was not going to help, is it? Okay, again, make sure it's all the way up to the little shoulder bits on this there, and then put your backlight one on. Open the backlight latch up. Ah, no, not like that. Not like that. And I would normally be using the microscope at this point, but I'm not going to snip over. Right, okay, come on in. Are you in? Do you know what? Okay, maybe I will. You won't see it, but oh no, I won't, because it's flipped out. Bear with me a minute. Down there. auto, take the brightness up again. Right, so backlight, just so I can see what I'm doing properly. I suppose you might as well follow me. Yep. Here we go, backlight connector. Because my eyesight is so bad, at least I'm hoping it's that. And then, as I said before, or for any new people, it does not go all the way in. It comes up to this bit of plastic and stops. But you should also have the shoulders of the ribbon cable up to the edge as well, so you know when it's in place or not. Like so. So that's the backlight cable connected. Take that back out of there for a minute. The dog is squeaking. Come back to overview. Take the microscope out of the way. Check that the battery has got some charge in it. In fact, where did I put the battery? It's buried under more bits of everything. That's the back case. That's that. Bear with me, folks. Again, searching for bits that should be obvious that I've not put in a sensible place. I had a bag with a brand. Oh, the battery's right there. It's right in front of me. What a surprise. Yes. Coming back to this, where are we? Thank you. Sandwich. Yeah, he is. She is, rather. But they have been fed. And it's not just that. It's because I'm sat here talking to you. And she's saying, excuse me, but you're not paying attention to me. Ah, that's interesting. We have all of no voltage on there whatsoever. That's a brand new battery, so that's good, isn't it? So I will use one of the smaller batteries for now from the 3DS themselves, just to test that we fire up. If I can do that without letting the motherboard fall over. Oh no, I won't. There's no point in doing that, because what I haven't done yet, and you can all laugh at this bit, because I've also lost where the heck I am. I see it. Okay. Because I haven't put the Wi-Fi stroke BIOS chip on yet, so it really isn't going to work, is it? Silly Chaz. Yes, silly cow. Right, now we're battling with those connectors that MK Fix likes so much. I'm just trying to put the Wi-Fi aerial. Just trying to put the Wi-Fi aerial back on the Wi-Fi module, like so, and then press it into place there. And then we'll try again. So hold the battery in place, turn it over, blue light on, Wi-Fi light on, just here, and top and bottom screen are working. Even if that is very, very bright and you can barely see it, can you? That's awful. Right, what about this bit? No, that's not going to do it. That is just horrid. Yep, you can't see. Anyway, working. Yes, absolutely. Let's put the light back on and continue on with putting it back together. Right. Oh, excellent. Now we're totally out of focus. Yeah, good. Yes. Oh, what's going on? Look, stop that. Back it in right now. Come on, back in focus. Okay. Except we're too close now, aren't we? Yes, we are. Let's zoom out a bit. And out a bit more. Out a bit more. And then maybe in a bit. Oh, I'm so looking forward to the autofocus. Okay. Yeah. So we've done that. Now we're going to put the board back on. I don't know, Fuzzy, because I don't take people's broken 3DSs as a job. I buy them broken, fix them because I enjoy fixing stuff, put them back together.
And keep them.
And my wife just said, and keep them. But yeah, I do sell them. Just I became, yeah, I do sell them. So what I can say, if you buy them, normally, again, not at the moment because people are selling broken stuff for silly money. You buy them for 50, 60 quid, maybe. I have got them cheaper at some points. Put them back together, and then the maximum then you could get for one was sort of like 110. So if you're running a business, these are not really the sort of consoles you want to work on unless they pay your labor rate. But if they don't, it's not really worth doing. But as I say, I just like doing them. I didn't start with. I said I think myself, along with quite a lot of you as well, have started off on the DS Lites, putting them together, going through new top screens and swearing because you've torn the ribbon cable accidentally, getting used to them. So then when I got proficient with those, I then thought, well, they really aren't worth, not even now, it's not going in the slot properly here, hang on, they really aren't worth buying, because again, even if you get one, say 10 to 15 quid for a DS Lite, please go in that slot properly. If nothing else is wrong on them, but the digitizer and the top screen, say, you're already looking at, for the top screen, probably around 15 quid. Digitizer another 2 to 3 quid. And the maximum really that you can get for a working DS, it's probably about 35 quid on a good day. So then I went from those. I bought a lot, not as in I brought many of them. I brought a job lot of 3DS parts, and they came with a new 3DS XL, a 3DS XL, and I think it was it Game Boy Advanced SP parts, all mixed in together. So I thought, well, okay, I'll have a go at putting these back together. And obviously that one wasn't cost economic because I was building it up from lots of little pieces with many pieces missing. But it did teach me how to do it. And I found then that you could actually get your money back on broken 3DS XLs and new 3DS XLs and the new 2DS XL. They were cost efficient. And I need to get some more screws. I'm out of screws of the right type. Hang on a minute. somewhere in here. I should have. Failing that, the Hoover bag. Yeah. But as I say, I never started doing this as a business. I, as you all know, had cancer, ended up in hospital for a long time. When I came out of hospital, I really wasn't capable of doing anything much, but I could manage to sit down for a little while in front of the computer and just muck around with these things, and I found that I enjoyed doing it, and mending 3DSs too. But there's another one. So I just need 2 more for the board. Hello, Michael. How are you? Mr. Stone Cold is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Michael. So I'm off screen here searching for screws at the moment, by the way, just in case you're wondering. So I have also, lately, I have also bought some 3DS boards. Someone was selling 12 original 3DS boards, not working, for 35 quid. And that was a buy it now, so I jumped on that. And so far I've managed to fix 4 of them, I think. Including having to rebore the power management chip on one of them, which was a new thing for me. So that's not the right screw, that's too big. I was quite chuffed about that, to be honest, and I'm learning new things as I go through them. Obviously I've done small repairs on other boards, given up on some that were just really badly water damaged. There are all the screws of the correct type. Oh Lord, that's not the right type, that's too long. Okay, I'm now covering my desktop with lots and lots of screws I'm going to have to pick up in a minute. I could go and rob them out of another one, which might still happen. Is that the right one, or is that too big? I think that's too big. I am here. Yeah, just proof I am still here. On a non-aggy day. Yeah, the switch lights, not fun. Well, I like working on them, but as I say, I haven't had much luck so far with the board side of things. I can take them apart and put them back together, not a problem. Right, okay, this 1, 2. Oh, it is raining again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that tightened? I think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 screws. Right, now I've got to pick up all these screws, like tipped out the bag, and put them back in the bag again. So, again, talk amongst yourselves, because this is boring and painful. I've also just got a couple of new templates. One is for the switch light processor CPU, and also a paste template for the RAM, because I've done the RAM by hand several times now on the same switch, not having any luck with it yet, and it is painful and time consuming. And for some reason, I don't know about the rest of you, but I found that my microscope really struggled when you put the flux on there with the balls on the pads, and not just giving you one great big dark sort of area because of the flux. Still putting the screws back in. They're so tiny that they tend to fly off if you're not careful. And not all of the screws are made of steel. Some of them are aluminium, including the little hinge piece rods that I've got in here. Now, if I had any sense, what I would have done is not keep all the screws together in one bag in every length, but sort them out by type and stuff, and then I wouldn't have to do this every time. But that would be too sensible. Oh my God, come on. Right, now we're just down to the hinge pins, more or less. The result of the tweezers at this point. I just hope I don't have to... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to jinx myself. Tum-ti-tum. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And if you can remember that, you're too old. Okay, picked all the screws up then. Yay! So we now have the board back in. We want to put the two little things in here. They're there for the little straps that you can put on there, and we want to put the washer that goes between the joystick and the thumb pad in. Get this in the right place roughly, and then we'll probably end up fiddling with this lots of times. And then the joystick, which we need to put into the latch first. So I'm going to unlatch the joystick connector and then feed that down through. Let's try that again. Come on. Ugh. It's nice being blind. Right, where are we? Down here. I'm using the microscope at the moment, by the way, people. Okay, come on in. Okay. Okay. And back to the main screen. Bringing this back up into here. Fold the joystick into place, making sure that it goes into the right position. Otherwise, you think, yay, it's engaged, and you put it all back together, and then you flip it over, and your thumb pad is all the way to one side because it's not in the right place. That's right, thankfully. And then hopefully that's the right one. Yep. Okay. Secure it down with the two screws. Pray to God that that was the right length. It was. Thankfully, it's the two longest screws, so otherwise you'll end up with unsightly bulges on the front of the panel. Really? So that's in place, that's in place. Microphone, we need to put the little rubber sleeve on. So there is a, you can't see it, but the little rubber sleeve, I'll just hold it there for a minute. There's a tiny hole just here, which obviously has to line up with the hole in the microphone. So we're just going to insert that and then put this in said microphone cutout. Hope it stays there. Back panel, which I moved just now, searching for the battery. There it is. Dig it out of the bag I'd have put it in. Bring this back in shot. Infrared board, before I forget, just there. Did we see that? You probably, yeah, there. Can you see that? Can you dig it? Just here. I've just put that on. And then the shoulder button cables, which you're not going to be able to see, sorry. I can struggle with these for ages sometimes. Come on there. Because they're, no, you need the tweezers, come on. Behave. Okay, sorry, but trying to make it so that you can see it and put it on there is making it too difficult. Right, okay, that one is on there, and that one goes on here, just so you can see it now, hopefully. In fact, I'm in front of some of that, aren't I? That's not going to help, so I can just move it here. And there's your other one just there. And at this point, let's take this back cover off. Now, it's been so long, I think this is the right motherboard, so I don't think I'm going to need to change the serial numbers on it. And the only way, obviously, you can check that the serial numbers on these is to put Luma on them. So press that all together. Oh, that's a bit grim, actually. But you know what? Never mind. And that port doesn't look too good, but these are all things we can play with later. Okay, so here we have this, and then we're going to put the screws in. Are we in shot still? Just about. I have had those moments, Fuzzy. Definitely. Especially when you put them all together and then discover that something's wrong, and then you take them apart, you sort that out, put that back together, find out something else is wrong. I mean, I haven't checked the camera or anything yet, so it's quite possible that that might have to happen, but we're just going to put it back together for the string. It's fine, that's right, yeah, absolutely. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a little screw that goes down at the front of the game card reader, just here. It's too close, actually, isn't it? Now, let's there you go. so you can see all of it rather than part of it. So we put those two in. I'm going to put that one in and put that one in, so I need to put these ones in. Come on, you can do it. Get in. No, apparently not. Apparently that's not the right screw. And it's not. And then this one. And then one at the front. Like so. I'm going to put the dead battery in for now. I'm not going to put the back on yet. And then somewhere kicking around here, if I'm really lucky, I might have even taken it off again. Who knows? Should be. I'm looking for a charge lead, by the way. I did have a charge lead here, but I could have taken it off. Out. Having said that, I've got a charge lead with it. Silly man. I put a new charge lead in with a bag when I got it. Why don't I just use that? Because that would be too easy, wouldn't it, you fool? Right, just untangle the charge lead. It's fine. And then hopefully once we plug it in, the battery will start charging, because if it's a new battery and it doesn't work, but I've left it this long, so I can't return it, I'll cry. And then I'll get one of the other spare ones I have. Right. Plugging into the computer, plugging it into 3DS. Charge light comes on, that's good. Let's turn that off a minute. Charge light comes on here and stays on, which means the battery is Claw's luck. Sorry, apologies. Will it fire up? Because it's that flat. No, it won't fire up at the moment because it's that flat. However, so I am going to look. What did I do with the other new batteries? What did I do with the new batteries? Can I remember? No. Have I got any others kicking around? It's all very well the battery's charging, but that's not going to help us now, is it? Right, another one here I've got all the bits for. This is a red 3DS XL that I've just dropped the battery from. What are the voltages on this like? Okay, that's much better. So temporarily I'm going to take the battery out of here and put this much more charged one in. Okay, and then hopefully we should have some more life. And we're going to come out again. So, can't hear anything though. Oh, there you go. This is Okay, 3D works. That is awful, isn't it, for the picture? Why is it so awful? Try and shut the amount of light down. It's not really helping, is it? But yeah, you can see it. And also, if I click my fingers near the microphone, that spins quicker, which is just a quick way of checking the microphone. Oh, the joystick feels a bit notchy. I might have to alter that. Like I said, you might have to take things apart. That feels a bit horrid at the moment. Let's reset it, I think, if it'll let me, if it's not parental locked. Other settings, and then it'll probably say, oh, here you go, parental locked. So we're going to need to go to parental controls, forgot pin, I forgot again. Where did I put the stylus? I forgot. Oh, we need to go back and do the touchscreen because it's a bit awful at the moment. Touch, touch, touch. Yeah, they're all fine. Right. Okay. We're going to go back. Parental controls. Forgot pin. I forgot. Okay, and then it will say can't connect to the internet. Okay, and then it will give you an inquiry number. And I did put the link to this on last time. Because I found an alternative site because the original one was down at the time. Just waiting for my is it back yet? No, that site is down. MQ generator, here we go. Right, so here again, and I will paste it in chat. Should be able to see that. That's parental controls. So I need to know, I'm gonna have to come out of this now actually, because I need to know other settings, date and time, what date and time is on it. It's the 1st of the 1st. Okay, back out of here. And we're going to go back to parental controls again. Forgot pin, I forgot pin, go through that, can't do that, it will fall over and it will return me to an error screen and give me an inquiry number. So we now know the date is a January of the 1st, and we can put the inquiry number in here, which you can't see at the moment. Workspace. Workspace, come on. No, got that one. What we want is here. Okay. Oh, really? Okay. So this is only just quick, but you will be able to see the gist of it. So in here then, let's make sure that you can see what I'm looking at. Yes, you can. Okay. So then we're going to need to put in here the inquiry number, which was no, it wasn't that. Got stuff all in the way. 24112025572, and then press go. and the key is given. So we go to the next screen on the 3DS. We put in 28981. 28981. Master key confirmed. Come back to overhead cam. Please choose a new pin at this point, because you think they'd just allow you to reset it straight away, wouldn't you? But so we're going to do that. A secret question. What was your favourite film? Whatever. P-U-L-L. Yes. Okay. And then we're going to clear the settings, because you have to go all through that. Right, now I have to go back and put the internet settings in, because until it's talked, it won't let you unlock it. Change settings. No, I don't want to do that, you silly so-and-so. What we want to do is we want to get rid of that. We want to delete the settings because they're all used up. And then we'll get rid of that one as well because we don't want that. And we'll get rid of the third one. And then we'll put a new connection in, manual setup, search for access point. Access point found. Hello Stu, how you doing? And Sky TV is not one. No, try again. Oh yeah, so it might have a Wi-Fi problem, or it's because it's locked because of the parental thingy. No, it shouldn't do that. It shouldn't be locked. Sky TV, I think it's actually okay, we're going to turn off and see what happens. Parental controls, back. Internet settings, yes, well, we've done the 00. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. Connection settings, new connection, manual setup. Why is it not manual setup? Back, new connection, manual setup, search for access point. Only one access point, which is not. You don't know the security key for that. And it should be showing up. I'll tell you what I'll do. I don't understand why it's doing that. I'm just going to set up a hotspot on my phone. So just bear with me per moment, please. Settings. Okay, so let's go back. It could be that the antennae might have dropped off, or it could have a faulty Wi-Fi. Try again. It could have a faulty Wi-Fi BIOS chip, in which case I'll need to swap that over. But that really very odd. Why is it only coming up with that? Okay, let's try turning it off. Not come across that before. Yep, thank you, Stu. Yep, we're all fine, I think. Configure. And we'll turn it off. And then we'll turn it back on again. And if this fails, obviously I'm going to go through the fault finding bit separately, because we're coming up to 11 minutes past 6 now. It'll be dinner time soon. So then it's just a matter of putting the back on, which is only 2 screws, and putting the covers on of the screws for the top case, the little sticky black screw covers. So what's when I might right muck around in here. Let's try the camera first. Hang on. Yeah, go through all this rubbish. Photos. Right, that does work. Although you can't really, well, you can just about see it. And then swap camera. And ooh. And yeah, there I am. View photos and videos, no save videos, so I don't have to wipe that off, which is handy. Power it off again. Yeah, so I have to sort of put the light back on a minute. I have to sort out the thumbstick, which is very notchy, the Wi-Fi board, or the antennae connection, I would think, and put the back cover on. Obviously I've already got the stylus, but I'm not going to put the back cover on properly yet, because obviously you've got to do that. And then you have also these white buffers which go back in on the top of the screws to cover them, but again, it's not worth me doing that. It's too time consuming to be doing that all on here now. So yeah, camera works, system works, parental controls unlocked. Just need to sort out the other bits and see where we go from there. I hope that that was some kind of interesting, folks. I know that the picture was not of the best quality. Hopefully the next time we stream, which won't be next week because I'm doing something else, going somewhere else next week, and we should have a much better picture and you should be able to actually see what I'm doing properly. But the other thing we've got to do, again, which we won't do now, is I've just got to clean the top screen off, clean the plastic frame off, put some new sticky back on it and stick it down there, and that's it really. Again, hope it was okay. I'm just about going to end there for now. I think my voice is going as well, so thank you for watching me. Would be nice one of these times to actually get everything together and actually finish with a complete console. I'm sure we'll get there. I've got plenty of opportunities and plenty of other 3DSs to do it to. Hi, Vathai, is that right? Or is it Hi-Thai? Don't know how you pronounce. Thank you very much. Please like if you enjoyed the stream or got anything out of it. Give it a thumbs down if you thought it was rubbish. And leave a comment. Please leave a comment for me, for whatever reason. And thank you very much. I'm going to say goodbye for now. Thank you all for watching, and have fun. Bye-bye. No problem, Stu. Thank you. And honestly, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and watching me on here, because I know I'm not a natural streamer. I am getting a bit better at talking to myself and engaging, I hope, but the camera is severely letting things down at the moment. So thank you very much. Talk to you later. I'll see you on stream later, and I'm gone. Bye-bye, TFN.